It's always about him, isn't it? Always about these TV programmes that he's not getting. I never talk about me.
I'm a poor man, son, from across the railroad track. Only shirt I own is hanging on my back. But I'm the envy of every single guy, since I'm the apple of my girl's eye. When we go out stepping on the town for a while, my money's low and my suit's on style. But it's alright if my clothes aren't new. Out of sight, because my heart is true. She says, baby, everything is alright. Uptight, out of sight. Baby, everything is alright. Uptight, and clean out of sight. She's a pearl of a girl, I guess that's what you might say. I guess her folks brought her up that way. The right side of tracks, she was born and raised in a great big old house full of butlers and maids. She says, no one is better than I. But I know I'm just an average guy. No football hero or smooth Don Juan. Got empty pockets, just see I'm a poor man's son. Can't give her the things that money can buy. But I'll never, never, never make my baby cry. And it's alright, but I can't do out of sight, because my heart is true. She says, baby, everything is alright. Uptight, clean out of sight. Baby, everything is alright. Uptight, clean out of sight. Baby, everything is alright. Uptight, yeah. Baby, everything is alright. Uptight, clean out of sight. Baby, everything is alright. Uptight,
Oh, I like that. That's a little mashup. I thought I'd start with that. I'm not going to play too many today because I know some of you don't like them, but I like them. That's a track called Uptight Killer. Stevie Wonder, of course, singing. And oh, no, it's not that at all. It's Uptight Maggie. I'm sorry. It's Stevie Wonder with the backing of whatever that song was with Rod Stewart. Maggie May. Thank you. Maggie May. That was especially for Emmanuel and Tommy from SGS Building Services, who apparently are big fans of the programme. Good morning and thank you for listening. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459 555 678. I believe the phones may work. The email address is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk, and the text messaging service for those of you who wish things had turned out different in your lives is 81771. A number of messages here already. A gentleman quite concerned about Mr. Coyle. I don't like talking to him about him, I'm afraid, but you have to sometimes. A gentleman suggests that he's got a universal TV remote. Mr. Coyle was talking the other day about sometimes he goes out at night and walks along the roads, and sometimes he looks in people's windows, and if they haven't drawn their blinds, he sees what they're watching on television because he's interested in what they're watching. The gentleman says he should bring a universal TV remote with him, and if he doesn't like what the people are watching, he can change the channel for them. Also, hello to Camillus McLaughlin. I haven't heard of that name before. Camillus, Camillus. That's nice. Hello to Camillus McLaughlin, who is here on holidays from Australia, staying with Rob and Geraldine White in Limavady. If possible, please play John Prine, as Camillus is a big fan. I don't play enough of John Prine. There's something about John Prine I'm not all that mad about it. And a gentleman called Jared Wiley said, me and my wife were arguing the other night. That's a terrible, terrible thing. And to cut a long story short, I was told that I'm too childish for her. She thinks I'm too childish. And she said, maybe I should sleep on the sofa. The next morning, she came downstairs all apologetic. However, I ignored her in the fort that I had created. Dear jogger's nipple victim. Now, we talked, it's a horrendous thing that runners sometimes have to go through. It's what's called the inflammation of certain parts of a person's body that rubs against the friction of a man's jumper. The jogger's nipple victim. You know how you were saying you'd be out here like a shot if you had out of here like a shot if you had loads of money? In a kind of a rash statement the other day, I said that, I would leave Northern Ireland if I had enough money. It was because the weather was bad. Well, I would have a similar outlook, but yesterday I looked out of the window and it was a lovely sunny day, so I thought, what a beautiful part of the world we live in. I think I'll go for a walk in the sunshine. But when I got outside, it was still freezing, so I came back indoors. What kind of a country is there? Even the sun is cold in Belfast. I blame the DUP. They promised me a while back deliverance from the grey skies of an Irish Republic. But to tell you anything in an election year, in response to many requests, this is the Dolly Birds, a song called Broken Dolly. I keep saying Broken Dolly, but it's not Broken Dolly, it's called Broken Doll, which is a different thing entirely, and more grown up, I suppose.
You came to me with words of grace and hope, eloquent and true, my heart eloped. You led the line and fed the battle cry. I never even stopped to question why. I took your colors, wrapped them around my soul. Then I noticed a dirty gaping hole. Then I saw what you had gone and done. You left me standing here with a smoking gun. Of all the things you could have said, you went and left me here for dead. You left me standing here with a smoking gun. Now your fading beauty's gone away. Mouth wide open, nothing left to say. Seduction makes for such a painless fall. Break me into pieces like a doll. Every move is
That's the Dolly Birds. That's a song called Broken Doll, DOLLY BYRDS on iTunes. There we are. Some people have trouble getting it. That's the only way you can get it, apparently. A gentleman called D. Dillon said, regarding your conversation with the answering boy about wildflowers, pea the beds, is dandelion. The reason why it's called a dandelion, this is going back a couple of days, it's from the French. A lion's teeth denoting the shape of the leaf. And of course, lion's teeth in French, I imagine, is dandelion. 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 So called because it's a diuretic when taken as a tea. So the reason why it's called a pea the bed is when you make dandelion tea, it's a diuretic, which means you run to the toilet. Clocks are dandelion seed heads. It also makes a wine that would take your head off and maybe cause a wee accident with a waterworks tea. If you're not careful, I am 100% sure about this. Please keep playing the mashups. They're great. And well, I'm going to play a real cracker. I'm not going to play too many of them because too much of a good thing, as Liberace said, is wonderful. I would like to play them all the time, but I have to bow to, well, maybe perhaps the fact that maybe people don't want to hear them all the time, but I'll play some of them. But I'm not backing down. When is your film night in the Black Box? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's the 7th of April. I'm not quite sure. I think so, but it's a voluntary thing, of course. I'm taking part in the Belfast Film Festival, so a man is going to talk to me about films. I have to talk about films I like and various experiences I had in the cinema. I'll leave most of them out. And the gentleman says he's a married male man, but he's not a postal worker. He said, I am a free man. I don't know what that means. Anyway, Kieran Goss is coming in today after the news. I like Kieran a lot. Now, a couple of years ago, he did a very special show on the Grand Opera House, and he brought together a few artists, and they was very well supported. I was at that. So this year, he's going to do the same. He'll be telling you all about it himself next Friday. Not this Friday, not tonight, but next Friday and Saturday. He's going to have Tom Paxton, Eddie Reader, Maura O'Connell, Brendan Murphy, of course, from the four of us, and himself. So this is one of my favourites, Tom Paxton. Tom Paxton's been singing for 50 years. Never dropped a note. I remember him a long, long time ago.
It's a long and dusty road, a hot and a heavy load. The folks I meet ain't always kind. Some are bad and some are good. Some have done the best they could. Some have tried to ease my trouble in mind. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. I've been wandering through this land, doing the best I can, trying to find what I was meant to do. And the people that I see look as worried as can be, and it looks like they are wondering too. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. Now I had a little girl one time, she had lips like sherry wine, and she loved me till my head went plumb insane. But I was too blind to see she was drifting away from me, and my good gal went off on a morning train. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. And I had a buddy back home, but he started out to roam, and I hear he's out by Frisco Bay. And sometimes when I've had a few, his old voice comes a-ringing through, and I'm going out to see him some old day. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. Well, if you see me passing by and you sit and you wonder why, and you wish that you were Ambler too, nail your shoes to the kitchen floor, lace 'em up and bar the door. Thank your stars for the roof that's over you. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound.
Tom Paxton, can't help but wonder where I'm bound. It's hard to say that. Gerry, any chance you could play something by Barry Fleming for his mum Molly? Well, I don't have anything by Barry with me, unfortunately, today. Although the gentleman says the weather is having an effect on people. That Muppet and his fat cohort on before you. Oh, that'll be Stephen. They were useless again. At least we have you, then Wendy, before the next two Muppets come on. That'll be Hugo. What a horrible... I shouldn't read this. Keep her lit, Gerry. Lots of love. Signed, Jackie Fullerton. And another gentleman sent some strange cryptic message about private parking tickets. I have no idea what that means. Probably something that the fat boy talked about. You know, on this programme sometimes you get the feeling that people out there misunderstand, you know, what you're trying to talk about. There was a record on that I played quite often. I haven't played it for a while, by Roxy Gordon. It was called Indians, whereby he says so-and-so is an Indian and so-and-so isn't an Indian. He'll say Bill Clinton is an Indian, President Nixon wasn't an Indian. He'd say so-and-so's an Indian. What it actually meant was that they had kind of different sensibilities. In other words, one was cool. If you're an Indian, you're cool. If you're not an Indian, you're not cool. So that's what that song is about. But a lot of people don't understand that. And this gentleman, he wants to name people who are either oranges or lemons. No, I have no idea. John Wayne was an orange. Al Pacino is an orange. Johnny Depp is a lemon. Jack Lemmon is an orange. Burt Lancaster was a great big orange. Now, this is not to do with politics now. Gay Byrne, orange with a bitter taste of lemon. Ben Stiller, lemon. Jane Fonda, orange, wrinkly orange. Vincent van Gogh, orange, yellow orange. Well, you get that? Mel Gibson, lemon to the sweet pip's core. Nigel Dodds is a lemon. Noel Thompson is an orange. Julian Simmons is a lemon. Bob Dylan is an orange, a small mandarin orange. Linda Bryans is a peach. We'll be talking to Linda later on, actually, hopefully, before 12 o'clock. Stephen Nolan is a turnip. That's cruel. Oh, I can't resist it. I had to play this.
People always told me, be
Oh, I think that's great. That's called Smell. It's the attractive title of "Smells Like Billie Jean." That's Michael Jackson, of course, and Nirvana. That's a mashup. Some people don't like those, and a lot of people love them. I have to say that I love them, but I'm aware that a lot of people don't like them. But I have to say this: there's two types of people. There's a type of person who says, "Oh, I like Billie Jean by Michael Jackson," but why mess about with it? And then there's other people who say, "Oh, I like Nirvana, but why mess about with that?" And then there are other people who say, "It's not interesting if you put the two of them together." So there are two types of people. So I suppose those two types of people will never actually meet. The ones who are interested and the ones who aren't. Anyway, that's. I'm not going to play any more of those today, but I'm going to play one special one just after the news, and I think it's a masterpiece. I won't tell you what it is. Just have a listen to it. I just play it. It's not like that. It's just a whole kind of a. It's almost like if you get a whole load of singers. You know those charity singles. You get a lot of people singing. Some will sing one line, and others sing another. Well, this one is all kinds of singers all just melding together. It'll be interesting to see if you like it. Also, a very special thing if you like music on television. Next Tuesday night, there's a special tribute programme to Gary Moore, of course. It's called Still Got the Blues. It's on BBC One Northern Ireland on Tuesday the 29th of March, of course, at 10:35pm. Now, a regular listener to this programme, and I'm not going to lie here, I'm going to have to say that regular listeners, I would be a hypocrite if I said otherwise. Regular listeners to this programme know that Gary Moore was never my favourite person. But you have to say he was a wonderful, wonderful guitar player, and that's basically all he had going for him. But it's interesting to see what that'll be like, and I'll be watching it. That's Gary Moore, Still Got the Blues. That's on BBC Northern Ireland, Tuesday night at 10:35pm. I can't tell a lie, you know? Can't tell a lie. He was never one of my favourite people. And, he's gone and that sort of thing, but, that doesn't change the fact. Not only can I not tell a lie, I can't tell the time either. We'll be back after the news. This is Riders on the Storm and somebody else.
Riders on the storm.
Blondie.
Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone, an actor out alone. Riders on the storm. There's a killer on the road. His brain is squirming like a toad. Take a long holiday. Let your children play. If you give this man a ride, sweet family will die. Killer on the road.
Five, Freddy told me everybody's slide. DJ spinning, I said, my. Flash is fast, flash is cool. Run, plus and far, flush ain't all do. And don't stop, shoot a shot. Go out to the parking lot and get in your car and drive real far and drive all night. Then you see a light and it comes right down and lands on the ground. And out comes the man from Mars. And he tried to run, but he got a gun and he shoots you dead and he eats your head. And then you're the man from Mars. You go out at night.
On 92 to 95 FM,
and 1341 medium wave.
this is BBC Radio Ulster.
The BBC News at 11 o'clock. I'm Emma Louise Johnston. Traders in Banbridge have described the decision to give the go-ahead for a Tesco superstore as a setback for the town. Two previous planning requests for the development at the Bridgewater Retail Park off the A1 were turned down. However, the Environment Minister Edwin Poots says he believes the new store will not mean the death knell for independent retailers. The number of people waiting more than 12 hours to be seen in emergency care departments here is on the increase, despite there being a fall in the number of patients. A report earlier this week concluded that staff in A&E will have to be more productive, and the Department of Health is also planning to fine hospitals for each patient who has to wait for longer than 12 hours. Rioting soccer fans have forced nightclubs at Belfast's Odyssey complex to close early at weekends. The move came after police arrested 9 people at the complex on Sunday during clashes between Rangers and Celtic supporters. The trouble flared following an Old Firm game earlier that day. Club owners at the Odyssey have agreed with police advice to close at 10 p.m. for the next 2 Sundays to review cheap drink promotions and tighten up admission checks. A man's been tied up and attacked in his home by a group of armed and masked men who tried to rob him. It happened on the Muldoona Road in Claudy last night. A woman and 2 young children were in the house at the time. The Japanese Nuclear Safety Agency says it has found no evidence of a rupture at one of the reactors at the Fukushima plant. The extent of the damage is being investigated after dangerously high levels of radiation were recorded in water at the plant's number 3 reactor. The country's Prime Minister says the situation is still very grave and serious. The body which oversees Parliament's new expenses regime has relaxed its rules in response to angry objections from MPs. The Independent Parliamentary Standards Authority is to allow more spending on accommodation, travel and staff. MPs claim the system created after the expenses scandal is too restrictive and bureaucratic and not family-friendly. Well, that was the news, and with the weather, here's Angie Phillips.
Sunny spells coming through across most inland areas, but mist and fog may linger towards the north and Antrim coasts. Some of that fog may lift into low cloud and start to drift inland for the afternoon, but there'll still be some sunshine around, probably the best of the sunny spells towards the south. Feeling cooler today compared to the last couple of days, with highs of around 12 Celsius.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
In Crossnacreevy, the Ballykeel Road remains closed between Knockbracken Road and Keel Park until this evening. In Newnabbey, there will be a lane closure on the Antrim Road from Waterloo Gardens to Serpentine Road. That's until 4 o'clock this afternoon. The Sharman Road in South Belfast will be closed at its junction with Stranmillis Road due to roadworks. It will reopen again at 5 o'clock this evening. On the flights in at Belfast International Airport, the 10:15 arrival from Liverpool has been delayed to 2:05. Michael Bedwell reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
Morning, Wendy. How are you?
Very well, thanks, Gerry. What about you?
I couldn't be better. If I was any better, I'd be arrested.
Well, what could one say?
Like a citizen's arrest. What's on the
This
programme
minute.
today?
Well, when you were at school, was there a gay straight alliance group in your school?
Well, there was a guy who used to give out the slates, you know, and the things you scraped on them. No, we didn't have that.
Well, I'm going to be talking to the head of a school which has just started one, and we're wondering, is he a pioneer or is he playing with fire?
He's drink.
You're terrible. Then a subject of great interest to the Northwest, the shelving of the radiotherapy unit at Altnagelvin.
Oh, that's a terrible, terrible thing. People are really angry.
They're really
about
cross,
that.
aren't they? Martin McGuinness says it's shameful, anti-democratic and sectarian. We'll be talking about that. I think I'm talking to
And
Gregory
especially when the
Campbell.
Solid Government have said that they're prepared to finance.
Exactly. We should interview you.
Well, go ahead.
Outraged Tunbridge Wells. Behind closed doors, you haven't got that nice Charlie Rich track, have you?
No, I haven't. No, I'm
but
sorry.
that's where Northern Ireland are playing tonight. You know, they're playing Serbia.
Yeah.
200 people there. They've all come from Northern Ireland. The Serbs aren't allowed to go because they're banned. So we'll hear live from there. That should be an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
And I wandered lonely as a cloud, etc., etc. Host of golden daffodils. Apparently, because Easter's so late this year, the daffodils will all have gone.
That's right. Yeah.
So
that's right. They're all out.
what's your Easter flower then? If
Oh, well, we were talking about that the other day. Pea the bed is mine. Do you know what's called? Do you know why a dandelion is called a dandelion? Because dandelion, the teeth of the lion. Of course, you knew that.
I did actually, but
I love the way you don't show off your
Wikipedia
knowledge
as well.
All right, Wendy, have a good one.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Remember the first time we met, you was at the mall with your friend. I was scared to approach you, but then you came closer, hoping you would give me a chance. Who would have ever knew that we would ever be more than friends? We're railroad white, breaking all the rules. watch it like a song played again and again.
Remember all the things we wanted. Now all our memories, they're haunted. We were always meant to say goodbye. Even with our fists held high, never would have worked out right yet. We were never meant for do or die.
But if you sing, Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like sing, sing, come baby girl, let's sing with me. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do unless you sing, 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 sing. Shawty got me singing. Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
Music playing and the lights turn low. Just one more dance and then we're good to go. Waiting for someone, and it's me. Hormones racing at the speed of light. That don't mean it's gotta be tonight. Baby, 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 baby.
But if you sing, Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like sing, sing, come baby girl, let's sing with me. Come baby girl, let's sing with me. Sing, 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 na 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 na, every day. Baby, there's something going on today that I say nothing. I can be your melody, a girl that can write you a symphony, the one that can fill your fantasies. So come baby girl, let's sing with me. Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like sing, sing, come baby girl, let's sing with me. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do unless you sing, 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 na 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 na, every day. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how.
Didn't come here to hurt you, now I can't
Because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me.
take this road.
And after all, you're my wonder one.
Could not love me better. Still wanna be with you.
Come baby girl, let's sing with
I
me.
can't stop.
Sing, 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 na 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 na, every day. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do. Disco dancing with the lights down low. The beats are pumping on my stereo. The neighbors are banging on my bathroom wall. They're saying, crank that bass, I wanna hear some more. Water's running in the wrong direction. It's a feeling, it's a mixed up sign. I can see it in my own reflection. Something strange is going on inside my mind. I don't know what's pushing me higher. It's a static from the floor below. Then it drops and catches like fire. It's a sound I know. The sound of the underground. The beat of the drums go round and around into the overflow.
where the girls get down to the sound of the radio, out to Electric Night, where the bass line jumps in the backstreet lights, the beat goes around and around. It's the sound of the underground. There's a chain reaction running through my veins. It pumps the bass line up into my brain. It screws my mind until I lose control. And when the building rocks, I know I've got my soul. Water's running in the wrong direction. Got a feeling it's a mixed up sign. I can see it in my own reflection. Something strange is going on inside my mind. I don't know what's pushing me higher. It's the static from the floor below. Then it drops and catches like fire. It's a sound I know, the sound of the underground. The beat on the drum goes around and around into the overflow, where the girls get down to the sound of the radio, out to Electric Nights, where the bass line jumps in the backstreet lights. The beat goes around and around. It's the sound of the underground. It's the sound of the underground. It's the sound of the underground.
That's Brendan Murphy, of course. Girls Aloud song of all things, called Sound of the Underground, done in a very unusual fashion. And that's from an EP called Voice on the Radio, which used to be able to be downloaded from www.concern, that kind of thing, but I don't know, that's a couple of years ago. Kieran Goss is here. Good morning, Kieran.
I like the link. I like the way your mind's working there. I like it. A Newry man singing, and then here's Kieran Goss.
You see, it's all subliminal.
Isn't it?
Of course, Brendan, good friend of yours. You two of you have been friends for years.
Yeah, we have been, and I spoke to Brenton this morning. Actually, he's on tour in Germany at the moment. And as life works out sometimes, I spoke to him, and he's really, really hoarse. He'd lost his voice. So he has a gig tonight in somewhere in Bad Salzgau in the south of Germany, and he's worried if the voice doesn't pick up pretty soon, they could be in trouble for tonight. But he assured me that he'll be fine for for the Opera House shows that he's doing with me on Friday week. But it's just one of those things. He's doing a long tour in Germany, and the voice is suffering a bit. So.
Oh, yeah.
It happens.
I mean, it's no joke that people think it's all fun, but it's not. You're singing every night. You're sitting over there, and you're kind of eating different food, different kind of hotels.
Yeah. And I think as you get tired as well, I think also on those tours abroad, there's a good bit of talking going on. It's not really the singing that wrecks your voice. It's the constant.
It's the drinking.
Yeah, it's the
drinking.
I was going to go with the talking.
Some people make a mistake. They don't drink enough. You say.
Thanks for that, Gerry. Thanks very much for sharing that with your listeners.
You see, there's some people who go on tours and say, "Oh, I'm going to behave myself. I'm not going to drink or anything." Then they don't sleep.
And tea's not good for you.
No,
it's not good.
You can't sleep. You see,
you can't sleep. There you go. And your voice gets tired. There you go. We're working our way around to it.
You faint every night about 12 o'clock. Then you're waking up at 9. You're great.
There you go.
So anyway, seriously, you're doing that tomorrow. Next Friday night.
Yeah, Friday the 1st of April and Saturday the 2nd. I'm back. So I know some of your listeners probably were at the shows we did 3 years ago in the Opera House.
I was at it.
You were at it, yeah.
I loved it.
It's Kieran Goss and friends, and it's a lovely idea. It's we go into the Opera House and I invite along some friends of mine, people that I've met along the way, and we put together a show. And a few years ago, Rodney Crowell was doing it, Beth
great.
Chapman, Kimmy Rhodes, and Brendan Murphy. And in fact, we filmed that show. The DVD of that show is coming out next Friday as well.
Good.
As it happens. But this
I'd
year,
love a copy of that. Could you send me? Will you ask somebody to send me a copy of that, Kieran,
I will,
please?
Of course. Yeah, it came out lovely. It's a guy called Maurice Linan filmed it. A great guy. But anyway, Friday the 1st and Saturday the 2nd, I'm back in the Opera House. Kieran Goss and friends, and it's a great lineup. Tom Paxton.
Oh yeah,
great songwriter.
Legend.
He really is. It's someone that You know, for me, I got my first guitar when I was only 9 or 10, and I remember learning The Last Thing on My Mind. You know, it's one of those songs like Streets of London that you learnt. You know, if you were of a certain age, that was the song that you learnt if you were learning to play acoustic guitar.
That's
so
right.
it's fantastic. Tom Paxton is on the show. Eddie Reader, you'll know
Yeah.
from Fairground Attraction.
Of course, yeah.
It's fantastic. You know, Maura O'Connell.
Oh, yeah. She's living in America now, isn't she?
She's been in Nashville for, I think, 25, 26 years, something like that. Doesn't come here often enough. She actually still has a huge audience, I feel, in Ireland. But she's living in Nashville, and you know, she's married there, has her life in Nashville. So it's a rare occasion that she comes back to Ireland. So she's there. And Brendan, again, as you mentioned, and is with me, Brendan and Declan Murphy. So it'll be a great night. It's Friday the 1st and Saturday the 2nd in the Opera House.
Interesting article in the Irish News today about Tom Paxton. He did an interview and he said that, you know, he's been around a long time, 50 years, you know.
Yeah.
And he said that at one stage when, do you remember that kind of change around 1963, 64 when Bob Dylan went electric?
Yeah.
And he didn't approve of that at the time, you see.
Right.
And he's very, very sorry about it now. And he apparently there was some magazine, he wrote this horrible kind of, you know, tirade against these guys. And he said people always bring it up in interviews and he's so embarrassed about it.
When you say something and it goes into print, it'll reappear.
These young chaps got all those electric guitars.
Yeah.
That's not what music is all about. They should have just an ordinary guitar,
Yeah.
acoustic guitar. That's what folk music is. And 40 years later, remember you read? Do you remember that?
That bit, that Kieran Goss guy will never get anywhere. That line, that was it. That one. So,
Anyway, Kieran,
Yeah.
let's talk about that in a moment. Go, sing a little song for us
I will.
and tell us what you've been doing. I mean, it seems like a long time since I've seen you.
It's a couple of years, I suppose.
Yeah.
I remember being in here around Christmas time. Maybe Anne was with me.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
right.
we sang a
That's
few
right.
Christmas songs and stuff. I've been abroad, to be honest, Gerry. I mostly, it seems as if an awful lot of the work is in Germany, Holland, where I go a lot, and it's fantastic. It's a country that gets a bad rap a little bit, Germany, but I love working there. I find the audience is brilliant, and it's been good to me. That's all I know.
Was that where people from Newry go?
That's where they go on a night out. There's a minibus leaves the town
Tommy
hall.
Sands will be there soon next.
That's right, you know. But the States, I've been back and forward to the States and Canada in particular. I know years ago you used to
Oh, yeah, I
go out
love
to Canada, and all,
Canada. I
and
love
it's
Canada.
one that kind of only in the last year or year and a half has opened up. For no particular reason. I've been releasing albums there for years and nothing really happened, and then one or two songs made it onto the radio, and all of a sudden you've got an audience. And
What's
there
that?
you go.
What's that singer, the American singer, the line from that song? Suddenly you play the right song, the telephone rings.
The telephone. Oh right.
Yeah,
Oh,
so who's
I
that?
know the line. I know
What's the song? He lived, American guy. He lived down in Sligo for a while. What's his name?
Tom Moore.
No, but more famous than that.
More famous. He lived in Sligo.
Yes, he did, or Galway or something like that. What's his name? The singer-songwriter. Copperhead Road.
Steve Earle.
Steve
Oh,
Earle.
I got it. I was in ahead. They're all dialing.
Steve Earle. Play the right song, the telephone rings. If you don't know which is the right song, the telephone rings. Say, hey, come over here.
Here's one. The
This-
phone might
this
ring
hit.
now. What do you hear? This?
Okay. Right, play one that'll make the telephone ring.
We were young, we were new in the light of the sun, never knowing that our love held us safe in its arms as we danced down the line of innocence. We were strong, though the odds were 1,000,000 to 1. Never knowing that our love held us safe in its arms as we danced down the line of innocence. Sweet forgiveness, that's what love's about. Sweet forgiveness is what we found. we were lost. We were wise in the ways of the world, never knowing that our hearts could be golden, though we'd crossed the line of innocence. Sweet forgiveness, that's what love's about. Sweet forgiveness is what we found. Sweet forgiveness, that's what love's about. Sweet forgiveness is what we found. We are young, we are new in the light of the sun. Ever knowing that our love holds us safe in its arms as we dance down the line of innocence.
Ah, lovely. Nice. Nice.
you.
Tell me about that song.
The Line of Innocence, it was one of the songs. I had an album a couple of years ago called I'll Be Seeing You. And it was all an album, a sadder album, I suppose, in ways than what I would generally write. I would say in general my albums are more up-tempo and more hopeful.
Okay.
But it was an album where the whole body of work was written around the time of my mother's death and when Anne was ill. My wife Anne had cancer and stuff at
Yes,
one
I was
stage.
going to ask you, how
yeah,
is
but
that?
she's well. No,
She's
she's
okay?
fully over all of that again. So it was part of a body of work that was all about that, where things change radically in your life, as they do, as they do. But what you know a few years down the line is that you actually can make it through, and those trials and tribulations that come along are just part of the deal. And the Line of Innocence is about that change from that kind of youth thing where everything's rosy and everything works out, to where you get the first slap in the mouth, as my father called it, which is a great line. So so it's that change. It's called The Line of Innocence, the song, and you cross it over, and at the end of the song you actually know that things will be okay again. So
That's nice.
So yeah.
A few people writing in to say that it's good to hear you back in the programme again. It's good to have you, Kieran.
Thank you,
for
Jerry. It's
coming
great
in.
to be here.
And
Good to be
another
here.
gentleman says, I met Kieran Goss in a wee fiddly-doo bar.
Fiddly-doo.
I think he means fiddly-dee.
Fiddly-dee, fiddly-doo.
A wee fiddly-doo bar in Blackrock, just outside Dundalk, about 20 years ago. He is a gentleman. Please give him my regard. That's Lawrence McKeown from Downpatrick.
Lawrence McKeown, a great guitar player. A great guitar player.
Oh, you know him?
Oh,
You know
yeah.
him.
It's it.
Sorry, go ahead.
There was a great bar down in Blackrock, the one in not Blackrock, Dublin, Blackrock, outside Dundalk, and it was called the Clarence or the Clarendon or the Clarence Hotel or something like that. And Saturdays and Sunday nights, big sessions, people playing fiddles and mad things. And I always remember they had a dog called Speedy that didn't move. It sat by the fire, and so they called it Speedy. And I always loved it. It just sat there looking at people for the whole day. So that was the Clarence in Blackrock. Yeah.
Did they push back the dresser?
Well, there you go. Move on, Jerry.
More porter for the woman in the bed. And on a more practical note, a gentleman writes to me, he says, I've got 2 tickets, he says, for your concert.
Oh, great.
And the Grand Opera House on Friday the 1st of April. Unfortunately, he can't go because he has to go in France. He has to go to France now. He obviously bought them some time back. He's got great seats, row F, in the stalls, 5 rows from the stage and fairly central, seats 16 and 17. And he's prepared to sell them to anyone out there. So he has to
I
go
thought
to
he was going to
France.
donate them to you for a wee competition. No,
Wouldn't you think? No.
It was all leading up to a very,
No. No. You see,
children
it
in need moment there.
It sounded like, he was saying, I will give it, but no.
No.
He wants the readies.
He wants the ready.
There's numbers here, so there are two good tickets. So anyone who wants to interest in that, give us a ring here
Yeah.
at 08459 555 678. So tell me what you've been doing. I mean, and you're saying things have been going well for you in Canada?
They have, and it really has been a period of, I suppose, for the last year, nearly everything has been abroad. So I'm aware that I have been away a bit, and that's why it's lovely to be back
Yes.
doing the Opera House shows. But it's, things go on, and there's new challenges come up. The German thing I mentioned has been something I've been doing for 14 or 15 years, and and I still love it. I go out there again in September and play 30 I think it's 30 shows or something in the whole month.
Why do
But-
some people become more popular in Germany than others? I know it's difficult for you to answer, but you've been consistently popular in Germany. What is it about your material that appeals to them?
I think there's a couple of things. The material thing you mentioned is part of it. They want, particularly from an Irish act and from someone that they would view to be a folk act. I don't necessarily see myself as folk, but they do. They want something that they really relate to. So it has to be not, I think rock music, you impress with it. You create distance and you create an image with it. With what I do, it's the very opposite of that, I feel. It's about bringing people closer and trying to talk about the things that are actually important in their lives. And that touches a nerve, I think, everywhere. It resonates everywhere, but in Germany particular. I think that's one level. On the other level is that you commit to going there. And for me, I've never had the big number one hit or anything in Germany. But what I have done is I've gone out for 15 years and played every year. And every time you go back, they're very loyal. There's 82 million people or something in Germany. Yeah. So sheer numbers of people means that it's a massive place. So yeah. I love it. A couple of little lucky things along the way. At the moment, I was speaking to Jackie out in the waiting room, and little bits of luck help it along the way. And at the moment, I have 2 songs on an album in Germany. There's a woman called Annette Louisan that you won't know. She's a German, sings in German. But she has an album that's number 2 in the charts in Germany at the moment, and I have 2 songs on that album. And what that does is that it opens you up to a whole group of people who wouldn't necessarily go to see Kieran Goss, this singer from Ireland, but all of a sudden they know your songs from a big German star. And what I have found is each time that happens, and this is about the maybe 3rd or 4th time that has happened in Germany now, you notice it, that all these people start coming along really because they're reading your name on the back of someone else's album. So all of those little things add up. And you wouldn't want to rely on any one of them or to be planning your life around it. But what you do is you keep going. You keep trying to do the best work that you can do and the most honest work you can do. And you hopefully find, and my experience has been that you find that every now and again that touches a nerve. You also find, I have to say, to be honest, that every now and again you're out of fashion. And that's the deal. And if you're in this for the glory, then you're in the wrong business. That's right. It's not unlike any media. Broadcast is no different. Mm-hmm. You're in and out of fashion, and you take it all, in your stride. And it's how you use the period. I remember speaking at length with Rodney Crowell. I know you're a big fan of. And Rodney had a period of 10 years where he felt that he couldn't get arrested. That's the way he put it. He said, Dick, 1 minute he's 5 number ones, and he says a couple of years later you can't get arrested. But his take on it was that it's how you use the period in the dark. He called it your period in the dark. He said, and if you use that productively and you create good work, and that when the light shines on you, you're ready again. And he is a case in point. He's been writing a book, a memoir, I suppose. I don't know if you've heard about it. He has this book called Chinaberry Sidewalks.
Is it out?
It's out in the States.
I didn't know that.
It's out in the States.
I must get that.
And I'll get a copy for you. It's not
Will
out
you?
here. And it's fantastic. It's actually moved him into, New York Times reviews, Book of the Month in the Washington Post. All this sort of world that, as he said a couple of years ago, he would have, he's a country singer, just don't talk to him.
No, he's a very bright guy.
Very bright guy and a great artist. And the point I think he was making is you do good work, and then you let the world find it. And,
well, you see, that applies to all kinds of walks of life, not just music. I mean, if you're on the dole even, and if you lie and watch TV and feel sorry for yourself, you're not going to be ready if some opportunity arises. It was Rodney Crowell. He said a great thing. He was in here one time, and I really enjoyed talking to him. I'll never forget what he said to me. He said, of course, he married Johnny Cash's daughter. Yeah. And the first time he went to meet the father, so to speak, he had a few jars on him, you see, because he was nervous. And he walked in, and he flew, and he went in. He probably told you this, but maybe the listeners don't know. But he went in, and he was a wee bit jarred, and he's sitting down, and Johnny Cash knew right away, did a few jars on him, So he said, son, I don't know you well enough to miss you if you're gone. So be careful.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, that put you in your box,
He
didn't
said
it?
that sobered him up.
And when Johnny Cash says that to you, that it has a certain gravity and a bit of, wit to it. That, good line.
I don't know you well enough to miss you if you're gone.
If you're gone. Go think about that.
And by the way, I must correct you. You've been away far too long. You should describe the area out there as the waiting room. This is the BBC now. It's the comfort zone.
Oh, the comfort zone.
Very careful.
Not a green room. There's no green rooms anymore. No.
Comfort zone.
It's the comfort
Green,
zone.
green, green room. Green room offends Protestants.
Very good.
Sing
very
another wee
good.
song for us, please.
Yeah.
And tell us a wee bit about it before you start.
To prove that it's live, you see, you like to take it easy. Sit right back and view the situation's not bad. The future's brighter. Soon we'll be floating on the crest of a wave. Goodbye to all your troubles, change of heart. The world will start today. It's like a new beginning. See it shining like a brand new star. A brand new star. Well, if you're thinking you end up crying, maybe all you need is to get away from friends and the walls surround you. Find a shore, step into the wave. Goodbye to all your troubles, change of heart. The world will start today. It's like a new beginning. See it shining like a brand new star. A brand new star. I won't be a burden upon your shoulders. I will give you wings so you can fly to lands where your dreams surround you. Find a shore, step into the wave. Goodbye to all your troubles, change of heart. The world will start today. It's like a new beginning. See it shining like a brand new star. A brand new star. Why see you shining? You're a brand new star. Why see you shining? You're a brand new star.
I've always loved that song. Always loved that.
Yeah,
Or the
that was the very first album, 1989.
I remember
Brand New
that.
Star.
I remember. I think that was the first time I became aware of you, and I remember thinking that was really, really good. Do the UTV people, weather people, still use that to introduce Frank Mitchell? Are they still using that?
No, they moved on to Clear Day for a while. Remember, on a clear day.
That's right. Oh, maybe that's. But did they ever use? They did use
you're
that
right.
one.
They used Brand New Star for about 3 years, and then when they took that off, they used Clear Day. But now they use one of Brian Kennedy's songs.
cheek of them?
I've been usurped.
But he's not even from Newry.
He's not even from here. I don't know what they're thinking.
Don't
but
they
anyway,
realise
yeah.
what's going on here? Some messages here coming in. I met Kieran too. He's the Brendan Carroll of folk. What does that mean? I don't know what.
I don't have a moustache.
No,
for
but
a start,
no,
anyway.
a true gent.
Yeah.
Lots. Maybe he's saying you're baldy.
Is that what he's saying?
Is that it? No, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's from Jackie Fullerton. It says, but I don't believe that. Great to have tickets for Mr. Goss and friends for last Friday. I'm looking forward to it. That's Denise and Morris, the Market Inn, Draperstown, where Kieran played many moons ago, and where he nearly burned his bum as the stage was in front of a roaring fire.
It was, and he's not lying. There was a gig in Cookstown and a gig in, where was that one in? That was in
It
Draperstown.
says
wasn't it?
Draperstown, Market Inn
The
in
Market Inn in
Draperstown.
Draperstown, and both of those gigs you had to sing in front of the fire, and and if it wouldn't occur to someone to maybe not light the fire the night that I was playing, so those were the days. Those were the days.
Another gentleman, a lady from the Northwest wants to know, are you doing anything up in the Millennium Forum in Derry, Stoke, London, Derry, because she would like to see you up there.
In Derry, no, I'd love to be, and maybe it'll probably be at least summer of next year before that happens. But just the way things are, that all of this year, there's these shows, and then I'm off in the States and Canada for the summer, July, August. I'm off to Germany in September into October, and then I'm back in Germany working with that Annette Louisan woman up until the end of the year. And I'm doing a very interesting thing in the UK, actually, at the beginning of next year. I'm touring with Fairport Convention. Do you remember them?
Of course I do.
Yeah, they're still massive in England, and it's their tour. I'm the special guest, if
nothing
you
wrong
will.
with
Yeah,
that, nothing wrong
and
with that.
it's lovely. I'm looking forward to that. So I know that takes me right up till May, June of next year. So it's at least summer of next year before I get back up to Derry. But I would love to do it, and I will. But it's just about, you can't be in two places at once.
No, but you're very busy. I mean, it's better than sitting at home looking out the window.
You better believe it. You know, even though there's moments that's all right too. There's times that I wouldn't mind it, you know. But there you go.
What about recording?
I've been writing away. It's a tricky balancing act, that thing between touring and writing. I have never really mastered it. Some people are great at that. They're writing away in the hotel room and stuff. I'm not good at that. I've had to, my whole career, I've had to kind of schedule periods of not touring so that I could write songs. So I've been doing little bits of writing here and there. Nothing that I would really say. I wouldn't say I have a new album ready, but I've got the framework of it, and I know the shape of it, and I know generally what it's going to be about. But I do need to get 2 or 3 months sitting at home writing consistently to really get up to speed. And as Seamus Heaney said, through the door, and the door into the darkness. Once you can get a week of working consistently at it, I find that the door opens and you're in. But I'm not at that point yet. So if I get that done, which I hope to will be around May, June of next year, then there will be a new album and I'll be out touring that. But in the meantime, it's all about gigging and promoting. And the new DVD, of course, comes out next Friday as well. So I'll be out promoting that as well. So
please don't forget to send me that if
I'll
you
do
would.
that.
And I know what you mean about hotel rooms, because in my kind of limited way, I've often found myself in hotel rooms. And, with something to do.
Yeah.
But I've never been able to do it. I can't do anything in a hotel room rather than watch the TV.
I'm the same. I end up wasting time. And I'm one of these people who, I don't like wasting time. I try to be very productive with everything I'm doing. I've tried that thing on a tour bus of writing songs, bringing headphones with me and a little recorder, and it's useless. You end up writing all these kind of nothingy kind of songs,
No.
So I just enjoy the journey now. Look out the window and wave at people and,
Get a bottle of Jack Daniels and say, hey, hello, everyone.
It depends on what you want out of songwriting. If you just want to kind of add up the numbers, then editing's another thing. That's something you can do in a hotel room. You can go back and look at stuff you have written and whittle it back down again and be kind of logical and sensible about it. But
you can't create in a hotel room.
No, and not for me anyway. But I know people who can. Rodney, that you mentioned earlier, Brendan Murphy's good at it as well. Brendan seems to write on the move. He fits in songwriting in between, and he's recently kind of become a daddy, and he's a young daughter and stuff, and and he's juggling all of those things, and yet you find you meet him a week later, he's I've got a new song I want to play it to you, and I'm going, when did you write it?
Between changing nappies?
Yeah, so everybody has their own system, but for me there is a dividing line, and I have to kind of take time out from gigging to do it.
Well, Kieran, thank you very much for coming in today. And I hope you'll sing another little song for us, but we'll say cheerio now, because after you finish singing, we'll go on to something else. But just to remind the people that next Friday and next Saturday at Grand Opera House, where do they get tickets? Ticket office, is that it?
Ticket at the Opera House. You just probably best. I know there was an issue with their website that's saying that the show is sold out. So if you go to the website of the Opera House and it says sold out, ring them, because there actually are. There's maybe 100 tickets left or something like that. But on the website, I know people have been hitting me on on Facebook and stuff saying it's sold out, we can't get tickets. But I do know there are 100 tickets or something like that left. So ring the Opera House. That's what I would do.
Okay.
And just say,
so it's yourself and it's Eddie Reader,
Tom Paxton,
Brendan Murphy,
and Maura O'Connor.
For God's sake, no wonder it's nearly sold out.
No wonder. There you go.
Thank you for coming in.
Not at all. Thank you. This
See
is
you
a
again. Yes.
a song called The Reason Why.
Thank you.
You put a smile on my face, a spring in my step. If I have a problem, you make me forget. It's such a beautiful thing, and you are the reason why. I'm walking around, having a ball. Get out of my way, I'm 10 feet tall. I'm up in the clouds, scraping the sky. Baby, you're the reason why. I love the way that you move, the glint in your eye. You rattle my cage, make me feel so alive. It's such a beautiful thing, and you are the reason why. I'm walking around, having a ball. Get out of my way, I'm 10 feet tall. I'm up in the clouds, scraping the sky. Baby, you're the reason why. I'm walking around, having a ball. Get out of my way, I'm 10 feet tall. I'm up in the clouds, scraping the sky. Baby, you're the reason why. You put a smile on my face, a spring in my step. If I have a problem, you make me forget. It's such a beautiful thing, and you are the reason why. It's such a beautiful thing, and you are the reason why.
You've painted up your lips and rolled and curled your tinted hair. Ruby, are you contemplating going out somewhere? The shadow on the wall tells me the sun is going down. Oh, don't take your love to town. It wasn't me who started that old crazy Asian war, but I was proud to go and do my patriotic chore. And yes, it's true that I'm not the man I used to be. Oh, I still need some company. It's hard to love a man whose legs are bent and paralyzed. And the wants and the needs of a woman your age, Ruby, I realize. But it won't be long, I've heard them say, until I'm not around. Oh, Ruby, don't take your love to town. And she's leaving now, 'cause I just heard the slamming of the door. The way I know I've heard it slam 100 times before. And if I could move, I'd get my gun and put her in the ground. Oh, Ruby, don't take your love to town.
We watched a Roman candle burn the day the world refused to turn. Even a chimpanzee can learn to act a little human. We saw a firecracker fall among the market shops and stalls, and then we wondered if it all was just an illusion. Will time roll back again when I hear your voice on the radio? Will time roll back again when I see the smokestack fall? Will time roll back again when the sun collides into Jupiter? Don't you know I'd follow you anywhere? You get so tired of being told that it's your future that can be sold. stops you cold and you hear your heart beating. Now we're fighting for every breath that we take. We're looking for the friends we can make, and we survive with every hand that we shake. Well, time roll back again when I hear your voice on the radio. Well, time roll back again when I see the smokestack fall. Well, time roll back again when the sun collides into Jupiter. Don't you know I'll follow you anywhere? I can't find a way to move myself above this. I can't find a way to see what's before us. All I know is it's too late to close the door. Well, time roll back again when I hear your voice on the radio. Well, time roll back again when I see the smokestack fall. Well, time roll back again when the sun collides into Jupiter. Don't you know I'd follow you anywhere?
That's Brendan Murphy, of course. That's from that CD issued by Kieran Goss and his guests. That's called Walk With Me. I think it is, anyway. Isn't it? I think it is. Let me see. Hold on, let me see. It's very difficult for me to get things right. Hold on a second. Is it that one? I think it is. I'm not sure. Green citrus, gold schlager, and a drop of soda water all in one glass will sort out Brendan Murphy's throat, it says. Joe Dolan told me that one night, and it really works. Oh, that's great, yeah. Joe Dolan's dead. Thanks for playing that. Travis Sing was on the radio. That was at Mashup. Started off with Travis when my daughter was born. A good thing to say when you're asked how are you. Reply, if I was any better, I would be detained under the Mental Health Act. That's it, says the person. I'm away to you too. 105er with Frank the Weatherman. I warned you this would happen. Very good choice of music today, Mr. Anderson. Please, please play The Boy Up a Tree for my grandfather, said Charles Lansborough from Cultra. Messing about with Travis, I'm going to come down to the BBC after your shift and sort you out. Hi, Gerry. I'm an old punk rocker and I love Nirvana. Mixed with Billie Jean was great. I love that. You see? I'm passing this on to you because it definitely worked for me today, says somebody. And we all could possibly use more calm in our lives. Some doctor on TV this morning said the way to achieve inner peace is to finish all the things you have started. So I looked around my house to see things I'd started and hadn't finished. Before leaving for work this morning, I finished off a bottle of Merlot, a bottle of Chardonnay, a bottle of Baileys, a bottle of Wum, a package of Pringles, the remainder of a bottle of Prozac and Valium scripts, the rest of the cheesecake and a box of chocolates. You've no idea how I feel at the moment. Gerry, them mashups are atrocious. Leave the classics alone. You see, this is what I'm talking about here. Where's my girl, Linda? Good morning, Linda.
Hi, I'm here. How are you?
I thought they were neglecting me. Sometimes they don't let me talk to you because I get too excited.
I've been hanging on as ever, waiting for you. Yeah. How are you doing, Jeff?
Stop. I'm all right, love. Tell me what the crack is with you. What are you up to?
Well, I'm phoning up because I just wanted to give a wee plug to one of the charities that I support, which is the Chest, Heart and Stroke, Northern Ireland Chest, Heart and Stroke.
Yes.
They're having a night at the races tonight. And it's at Drumbo Park, the stadium at Ballysky. Have you ever been there?
I have, actually. Yes, it's great.
It's dog racing. It's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. It's brilliant. I'm sorry, I didn't use the better adjective. It's absolutely fantastic.
That's better. That's better. Big it up. So they're having a bit of a fundraiser there tonight, and you're encouraging people to come to the night at the races at the Ballyskay Stadium. So I remember going to Dunmore Park. I'm sure many of your older listeners remember Dunmore, at the Antrim Road direction. And
That's
it's
right.
kind of the modern equivalent. And there's waiter table service and all the rest. You can have a flutter and somebody goes and puts your bet on for you, and it's really very good.
You mean somebody comes to your table and puts the bet on for you?
Absolutely. You don't have to go and do it yourself these days.
Well, do you have to give them any money, or do they just kind of put it on just in case you might?
No, you do have to pay for it.
Oh, sorry. I thought maybe, you just give you only. Oh, anyway, never mind. Listen,
I'm loving those mashups. I think they're brilliant.
now, you see, a lot of people don't. You see, it just goes to show you, look, there's strange people out there. Someone suggested the other way, the best way for me to run the marathon is to have you running 20 yards in front, and then I will always be there. How do you feel about that?
So no pressure on me then?
No. Okay, listen, tell me again what that means. Tell me again. Just give me the bare bones of that again.
All right. It's a night at the races, and it's tonight at Drumbo Park Stadium, Ballyskay. And it's on behalf, or it's all in aid of the Northern Ireland Chest, Heart and Stroke. And, it's a local charity. They're devoted to helping local people. And just by coming along, having a wee bit of a flutter, it's £50, right? But that
Okay.
includes your food. You get a 3-course meal for that as well. So it's not just,
Well, that sounds all right to me, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
That's not too bad, actually, is it?
All
But
right.
it's a really good, fun night out,
All right.
So if you want to do that, just ring up Chest, Heart and Stroke, or indeed Ballyskay. I don't have a number here, sorry, Pet. But, they would certainly love to see you along there.
Okay, then. All right, then. All right, Linda. Listen, I hope people come along to that tonight, because it's a good cause. And thank you very much. Nice to talk to you again.
And you too.
Okay,
and
darling.
if you're in Belfast, you want a wee bit of training help, don't hesitate to see somebody else, but not me. I don't do running.
Don't be offering me anything. You don't know what you're dealing with here. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Linda Bryant. Gerry, can you announce the length of this rubbish music so I can turn off for a while? Well, 5 minutes. That's Radiohead and Marvin Gaye. Gerry, you are a renegade half-breed. Thank you. You're also a squaw man. Thank you. I didn't know that. And Gerry, can you please play that song by the wee Chinese woman that you used to play for my wife? Well, I never used to play it for your wife, but I will play the wee Chinese woman at some stage. Uncle Billy at the wheel. Tell his lovely girlfriend Nicola we will have him back safe and sound for Blind Date in Killevy Hall tomorrow night, which is for to raise money for cancer. Thanks, Gerry. Will you please play the wheels on the bus? I think I'll pass that to Hugo. Hi, Gerry. Please say hello and good luck to my daughter Ellie McEwen, who is starring in her school play called Scaldies Up the Chimney at Fairhill Primary School in Kinallen. Do you know Geordie Tutt was involved? No, I didn't know that. I was speaking to Gerry yesterday morning, says Robert, about a pair of sunglasses I had lost. The man with the, big expensive jobs. I got a call from the manager of Wise Buys on the Newton Ards Road saying he had them. Thank you to Gerry. My friend is looking for 6 Tyrone brandy glasses and 6 whiskey glasses. Can you help me, Gerry? Well, as a matter of fact, I can't. I'll leave you with this. I think this is good. It's kind of strange the way it starts, but you have to wait for a while. Oh, no, that's not it. No. Oh, that's not the right one. Hold on a second. Oh, no, it's this one here. Have a nice weekend.
Get out, get away from these lies, 'cause they don't get your soul or your fire. That would be the best therapy for me. Sing tonight. Take my hand. Together we'll be the perfect soulmate. Not your fingers through mine. I'm trying to keep you in my head. Those would be the best memories. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me? Just forget the world. Tell me that you'll open your eyes.
Gerry Lightbody and Katy Perry. Where would you get it? Have a nice weekend. Goodbye.
If I wake up tomorrow, will you still be here? This is true. If you feel the way I do these, baby, just take this time. Let's make you memories. Let's run away. Running from tomorrow with our lips like we can do what we like. Baby,